It's awful to be broke. Counting every penny to ensure that I can survive until the end of the month while living in a tiny apartment with a roommate taught me a lot. Because I understand what it's like to restrict your food intake in order to pay the rent at the end of the month. I'm still very careful with my money. I didn't have big financial goals when I was a freshman. However, I wanted to escape that precarious financial situation because I had to make numerous cutbacks. So the only thing I had to hope for was that after I graduate, I'll have the necessary competence to find a job that will provide me the comfort of free time, and that I'll use that time to build a business or acquire new skills that will improve my income. It appeared to be a sensible approach, because I wasn't prepared to wait till I graduated and then find out what I wanted to do. It wasn't long enough for me to discover it wasn't as good as I had thought. I therefore made the decision to try everything. After years of dedication and hard effort, I succeeded in my attempts to launch an online business, enter the real estate market, and join a small startup. I can assure you that life improves when money concerns are gone. You are no longer making decisions based just on price. You'll find yourself unexpectedly free to do activities that interest you and matter to you. You'll be able to take a break from everything without worrying about paying the rent. To do it, you don't need to be worth $1 billion. Much less is required than that. Hence, in today's video, we will be talking about how to achieve financial freedom in 5 easy steps. So if you're new here on Usable Wisdom, you came to the right channel, for we will surely help you kickstart your pursuit of great riches. Oh, and if you discover something helpful from this video, it would be lovely if you subscribed. You can also unsubscribe at any point, but as long as you subscribe, you'll always be the first to hear about new money-making strategies as they become released. Hence, it is mutually beneficial. So, how about we keep going? First, keep your cash flow positive. Your level of financial success will ultimately depend on how well you can manage your cash flow. Cash flow is likely something you are familiar with if you've taken accounting classes, but in college, you learn that businesses also have cash flow. However, we have the same issue in life. The management of cash input and outflow is necessary. You must ensure that there is more money coming in than going out for your business to be profitable. At the very least, the business's cash flow is balanced between what it gets in and what it spends. No matter how much debt or expenses a company has, as long as it makes more money than it loses, it is a profitable company. The principles of personal finance are the same. As long as you have a positive cash flow, it doesn't matter how much debt you have: mortgage, student loans, or auto loans. Second, abstain from accepting unneeded obligations. Literally, this error is one of the primary causes of the financial hardship experienced by many people. Despite the fact that they may have a healthy cash flow, they take on debt they cannot sustain. I'm not just referring to taking out a credit card loan or leasing a new vehicle. I'm also referring to when they enter a costly relationship or even starting a family. Don't misunderstand me. Not that I think having children is a bad idea. Here is the equation though. Say you have a balanced financial flow, create a family, raise a child, and your expenses rise. If you are given a promotion or are given a second job and your salary increases, not bad, you'd say. However, as you age, your expenses increase as well and eventually outweigh your income, making your cash flow negative. You will struggle arduously the rest of your life to make up for your poor cash flow. This is referred to as generational poverty. You reach a point where you are unable to accumulate the capital necessary to lift yourself out of poverty. The majority of individuals today are unable to become financially independent, not because they work too hard, but rather because they force themselves into a position where they are forced to spend every dollar they make. In order to maintain a positive cash flow, you must accomplish step 3, which is to create an investment portfolio. A man by the name of Arkad lived in a kingdom in ancient Mesopotamia around 4,000 years ago, and he was quite destitute. He toiled tirelessly to provide for his family in hopes of avoiding poverty. But when he was rewarded for his efforts, he put almost no food on the table and lent the remaining funds to a shield maker with a paid interest on the loan. He lent the money to another shield maker who was increasing his income even more, rather than using the interest to raise his standard of living. His riches rose to such a size after repeating this method for several years that he no longer had to work. He eventually became the wealthiest person in Babylon. You might not be able to track down a maker of shields today to lend him money, but there are undoubtedly additional resources available for you to use in order to increase your wealth. Think about the fact that the success of the top 500 US corporations is gauged by the S&P 500 index. Its historical average rate of return was about 10%. That indicates that if you start setting money aside and investing in the S&P 500 index when you are 20 years old, by the time you're 50, you will have about $2 million. And that only involves $1,000. Consider what would happen if you increase the amount each year to $2,000, $3,000, or even $5,000 as your salary increased. You'll have tens of millions of dollars in the end. And in doing so, you can maintain a healthy cash flow. A brief disclaimer: this is not financial advice, and nothing you read or hear on this channel should be interpreted as such. Prior to making any purchases, you should conduct your own research. Before we continue, we would love to see your suggestions in the comment section about particular topics you want us to talk about in the future. Done? Let's get going! The fourth rule is to be liquid. There are risks involved in investing, so don't just run out and invest all your money in the stock market. What do you think you would have earned on $10,000 if you invested $1,000 in the S&P 500 in June of 2007 and decided to withdraw it a year later due to an emergency? It pains me to say this, but negative 50%. Just to get your money back, you would have to endure another 5 years. That is also how the market operates. Every day, it jumps up and down. When a crisis occurs, it may take several years to recover. In order to reap the rewards, you need to stay in the stock market for the long term if you're committed to it. However, you must be financially liquid if you want to be completely independent. If something goes wrong, you shouldn't be alarmed. If you got fired, your business is struggling, or a recession is approaching, no big deal. You're taken care of. You have enough money to put an end to your financial worries for at least 6 months. Lastly, devise a plan. Everything we've discussed in this video sounds incredible. I get that, but how in the world are we going to cover for them all? The lottery seems to be the only realistic choice. Sure, you could attempt that, but you also have the choice to budget your money. You won't be able to accumulate a 6-month cash reserve in just 1 month. You won't be able to amass a $1 million investment portfolio in a short period of time. And you're not required to. The goal isn't just to achieve financial independence. The aim is not only to accumulate enough wealth to enable permanent retirement. Put yourself in a position where you won't be influenced by price when making decisions. Just because the income is a little bit greater, we would take that new job offer. Most likely, you'll carry on with your current work, but focus on the issues that are most important to you. It's possible that your life will become a little bit more vibrant with fewer financial issues. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, this has been an enlightening experience for you. And if you want to see more content like this, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be one of the first to see our latest uploads. See you in the next one!